What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Pokemon TCG unboxing. Today, I'm going to be ripping into one of my favorite Pokemon TCG products, a League Battle Deck. This one is going to be the Single Strike Urshifu Vmax League Battle Deck. I've ripped the Rapid Strike Urshifu Vmax League Battle Deck previously, and it's on my channel if you would like to go check it out. Make sure you do that, and while you're over there, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell and that like button, and drop a comment down below. That will help support the channel and keep you notified whenever I upload new Pokemon TCG content. So right here, we have the Single Strike Urshifu Vmax League Battle Deck. I mentioned that these League Battle Decks are some of my favorite Pokemon TCG products. Absolutely incredible for advanced players or beginners. Awesome, lots of great cards in here and other Pokemon products. I'll show you the back right here. I'm going to show us the deck list and then also some of the stuff that's in here. So in this video, we'll unbox the League Battle Deck. We'll see what's inside. I'll give you guys a quick deck profile for the deck that is inside of here, and then we'll hop into a match with this League Battle Deck online on PTCGO. So yeah, very cool box. Love the packaging on these League Battle Decks. I like how this part on the outside is reflective of Urshifu's design on the chest. So let's go ahead and rip this open. Hope you guys are doing well in this colder time of year. Some snow for some of you, maybe no snow if you live somewhere where there's a warmer climate year round. Where I'm from, we were supposed to get some snow today, but ended up with just a lot of hail and rain. It's kind of tough to get open. We're supposed to get lots more snow tomorrow though. Come on now. There we go. Alright. I was able to pick this up for a really decent price. $25 is a pretty standard League Battle Deck price. I found this on Amazon for $25, which is really nice. So on the front, you're going to see those Urshifu cards, which we will look at here in a second. So here is our Pokemon Trading Card Game Rulebook. Love these. Great quick start guide / rulebook. These are always awesome to have on hand. Here, this is another little paper. So this is going to kind of explain the strategy of the Single Strike Urshifu Vmax League Battle Deck, and on the back shows you some ways that you can up the deck with some awesome cards to make it even stronger. This deck is very strong right out of the box. Here's the deck box, and this contains the rest of the deck. So we'll take a look at that here in a second. There's a code card which I will set to the side because I want to use. Oh dear, I'm spilling stuff everywhere. Alright, excuse me for a moment. Let me pick some things up. There is the dice. And we got burn and poison. Alright, everybody, I'm back. Got all the things that dropped. I'm so sorry about that. As I was saying, that code card I want to set to the side because I do play online and I want to use the cards in this deck to show you guys some great Single Strike decks featuring Single Strike Urshifu Vmax. Move this back into the shot as well as this. So we will take a look at this. These are going to be our Urshifu V and Vmax cards. If I can figure out how to get this out, these are interestingly packaged. I don't remember. Okay, there we go. I don't remember struggling with the Rapid Strike one. So we will have 2 copies of the Single Strike Urshifu V and 2 copies of the Vmax. Let's get these out. So these are some really cool looking cards. So as you see here, there are 2 copies of the Single Strike Urshifu V. Super cool. And we're going to have 2 of that Single Strike Urshifu Vmax. Super cool. Alright, so we'll set that right there. And then let's take a look at the dice. These look pretty cool. Figured they would be red because the Urshifu ones are blue for the Rapid Strike Urshifu Vmax League Battle Deck. Come on now. Get out of there. Kind of sticking to the seal right there. Alright, looks like we lost one. I'll grab that. So these are pretty standard Pokemon dice that you'll find in your Pokemon products. But I do want to look at the big coin flip dice, show you guys this. As you can see, it's glittery, which is really cool. Kind of looks like a ruby. Very, very neat. And then I have the poison and burn counters right here. Nice. These are not metal, but they are still very nice. And then this is the rest of the League Battle deck. So this is going to be the rest of the cards for the deck, and these 2 Urshifu Vs and 2 Urshifu Vmax are part of the deck. So I will go through this real quick, but then I'm going to sort this out, give you guys a deck profile, and we'll check out the deck together and see how it works. Alright, I've got the deck sorted out, and now we're going to do a deck profile for the Single Strike Urshifu Vmax League Battle deck. So first, we're going to have our 2 Urshifu V and 2 Urshifu Vmax that you saw when I unboxed it. So we'll go ahead and lay these guys up here. So these are very essential to the deck. It is the Single Strike Urshifu Vmax League Battle deck after all. So Single Strike Urshifu V is not a bad card at all. It does have some solid attacks and laser focus and impact below, but Single Strike Urshifu Vmax is a real heavy hitter. First attack beatdown hits for 100 damage for 3 colorless energy, which is not too shabby, but Gmax 1 blow is what this deck builds around. Gmax 1 blow costs 3 fighting energy, 1 colorless, hits for big 270. When you use that attack, it is not affected by any effects on your opponent's active Pokemon, so it goes right through Decidueye and Zamazenta V, so it's a very strong attack, but it does come at the cost of discarding all of the energy attached to Single Strike Urshifu Vmax, which actually isn't a problem and actually benefits the deck, and you'll see why here in a second. Now let's look at the rest of our Pokemon. We're going to carry 4 copies of Houndour, so I'll set these right here. Houndour is an essential part of our deck as well, because it's going to evolve into the very strong Houndoom, which is a very essential part of our deck. It's the core part of our strategy. So Urshifu will be our attacker, but Houndoom is going to be our energy acceleration. The deck features 3 copies of Houndoom. If you want to upgrade this deck, you probably want to play a 4th copy of Houndoom, but 3 is pretty nice. Single Strike Roar says once during your turn, you may search your deck for a Single Strike energy card and attach it to one of your Single Strike Pokemon. Then shuffle your deck. If you attach energy to a Pokemon this way, put 2 damage counters on that Pokemon. So Houndoom is going to accelerate those Single Strike energy from the deck, which we'll touch on in a moment when we get to the special energy. But it's an incredible ability because it's going to accelerate all that energy, because Urshifu's Gmax 1 blow attack is a very high costing attack. So Single Strike Roar will help you be able to power up that attack turn after turn through this ability. And it will put some damage counters on your Pokemon, but that's not a big deal. So Urshifu is a great attacker, but obviously we only have 2 Vmax and 2 V, so we do need some other attackers, so we're going to have 2 copies of Stonejourner. So Stonejourner is a Single Strike Pokemon, which means you can put the special energy from Houndoom onto Stonejourner. It has Lance Pulse, which is a nice attack, but Giga Hammer is a very strong one. You can put 120 damage, and it adds damage when you attach those Single Strike energy. To finish off the Pokemon, we'll have 2 copies of Oranguru, which is always great to have in a deck with that Primate Wisdom ability. Once during your turn, you may switch a card from your hand with the top card of your deck. Great ability is going to allow you to dig a little bit deeper to find the cards that you need, and is a great way to round out the deck. So that's the Pokemon. Now let's talk about Stadium cards. There's 1 Stadium in the deck, but we play 4 copies of it. Tower of Darkness. Tower of Darkness says once during each player's turn, that player may draw 2 cards. In order to use this effect, that player must discard a Single Strike card from their hand. Obviously, there's lots of Single Strike cards in our deck, so we can use Tower of Darkness to dig a little deeper and find the cards that we need. We're going to have 4 copies of Professor's Research to start the supporter cards. Research is a very common card in a lot of popular decks. Discard your hands and draw 7. Very, very strong, allows you to dig a little deeper for those cards you need and draw some cards. We have 3 copies of Marnie next. Marnie, another very common draw supporter. Each player shovels their hand into their deck, draws 5, and then your opponent gets 4, and you get 5 cards. Great, great supporter. We're going to have 2 copies of Boss's Orders. Single Strike Urshifu can typically take out pretty much anything in the active spot, even your opponent's Pokemon Vmax, but in the occasion that we can't, we can use Boss's Orders to bring up a Pokemon that is within range. The last supporter card is going to be Bruno, 1 copy of him. He's a Single Strike supporter. Shuffles your hand into your deck, draws 4, but if any of your Pokemon are knocked out during your opponent's last turn, you get to draw 7 instead. So this is a great card to use if you're not looking to discard your hand with Research and you just want to shuffle your hand back into your deck instead. Bruno is a great option. but you probably won't be using it for that max effect very often because Single Strike Urshifu is a very big Pokemon. To start off the item cards, we're going to have 4 copies of Quick Ball. Quick Ball is essential in this deck because setting up Houndour is essential to evolve it into Houndoom as soon as possible so you can get those Single Strike energy in play. So 4 copies of Quick Ball is a no-brainer to find those Houndour and get them benched as soon as possible. Next, we will have 4 copies of Urn of Vitality, which is a very strong card and is essential to any Single Strike Pokemon deck. So we're going to discard all that energy from Urshifu when we use that attack. Urn of Vitality says shuffle up to 2 Single Strike energy cards from your discard pile into your deck. So when we discard those Single Strike energy with Single Strike Urshifu Vmax, we can use Urn of Vitality to easily retrieve it and continue to accelerate those energies through Houndoom. And in the occasion where we're forced to try and find a card by discarding a Single Strike energy with Tower of Darkness, you can always use Urn of Vitality to try and get it back. As important as it is to set up Houndour, it's also important to set up Houndoom. So we carry 3 copies of Evo Incense to find Houndoom, but that can also help us search out Single Strike Urshifu Vmax. There are 2 copies of Switch to bring our Pokemon in and out of the active position. We're going to have 2 copies of Escape Rope, which does the same thing, but also forces our opponent to switch into a new Pokemon. So Escape Rope is definitely an incredible card. Allows us to switch in out of our Pokemon. If we want to combine it with a switch, we can do that. It will kind of act as a boss's orders if we don't want to use up our supporter for the turn. So Escape Rope is generally a very good card and it works great in Single Strike Urshifu. We have 1 copy of Ordinary Rod, which is going to be great to bring back those basic energy that we're discarding through Single Strike Urshifu Vmax's Gmax 1 blow attack, but it can also bring back some Pokemon. If you're forced to discard Houndours and Houndooms, you can always bring it back with Ordinary Rod, or if you're discarding Single Strike Pokemon with Tower of Darkness, you can use Ordinary Rod to bring those back too. We'll have 1 copy of Tool Scrapper, which chooses up to 2 Pokemon tools attached to Pokemon, yours or your opponent's, and discards them. So if our opponent has some of those pesky tools in play, maybe a Cape of Toughness that is putting their Pokemon out of range of Urshifu's attack, we can use Tool Scrapper to get rid of that. The final item cards in here are going to be 2 copies of Single Strike Scroll of Scorn. When you attach this to a Single Strike Pokemon, it gains access to the attack Furious Anger for 1 fighting energy. This is out 10 damage and adds 10 more for every damage counter on the Pokemon. So if we throw this on an Urshifu and it's accumulating damage counters from Houndoom, we can use the Single Strike Scroll of Scorn attack Furious Anger to dish out some serious damage. Now let's move on to the energy. We're going to have 4 copies of Single Strike Energy. Single Strike Energy provides fighting and dark energy, but only 1 at a time, and it can only be attached to a Single Strike Pokemon. When it's attached, it boosts the damage of the Pokemon's attacks by 20. So Urshifu is already dishing out 270 damage, which is pretty insane, but with a few Single Strike Energy, we have access to knocking out some of those Pokemon Vmax in 1 hit. It truly makes Single Strike Urshifu Vmax's Gmax 1 blow attack take out your opponent's Pokemon in 1 blow. There's 4 copies of Stone Fighting Energy, which is basically a better version of a basic Fighting Energy. It's going to reduce the damage done to Urshifu by our opponent's Pokemon's attacks. Then the final cards in this deck are 4 copies of Basic Fighting Energy. So that's the deck profile. Now let's get into some gameplay. So we are doing the gameplay for the Single Strike Urshifu Vmax Elite Battle Deck. Let's call Tails and we will win. Let's go first. Alright. So we have a V Urshifu to start. So Boltund. Throw him down. Do a Stone Fighting Energy and we will pass. Lightning Energy from Boltund. Quick Ball. Going to find a Mareep. And Electrify. For some Lightning Energy. Let's do Single Strike Energy. Tower of Darkness. Let's Evo Incense for a Vmax. think I'm gonna throw that one down on the bench. And then I will laser focus to basic fighting energy. Alright. There's a Flappy. Replacing the Tower of Darkness with Training Court. Energy on the Bolton and Electrify once again. More lightning energy into play. And there's the victory! Alright! Pretty awesome game. If you enjoyed today's deck profile, unboxing, and gameplay of the Single Strike Urshifu Vmax Week Battle Deck, make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and drop a comment down below. That'll help support the channel and keep you notified whenever I upload new Pokemon TCG content. That's it from me. I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye, trainers.